carbon dioxide, implementing filters or air capture. It does not electrolysis process to split carbon dioxide into oxygen. When the carbon sequestration happens, instead of mixing carbon monoxide in the atmosphere, it turns into the release with products like biogas and like and the fourth final step is it releases oxygen. The environmental impact affected the climate change mitigation. Oxygen reduces atmospheric carbon dioxide levels, air quality will affected there. The carbon neutral uh, process is followed. The use cases and benefits used industrial fuel production in the southern of use and urban agriculture improvement purposes based with a low cost, we have some very low cost and implementing in rural areas, changing the air and clean air. The business future prospects then we are going to see. The first step is the last volatile policy prototypes will be there. The new prototypes will be launched from here. The integration trial with carbon capture test is done. The collaboration agreement with the similar scientists. The pre-test of mostly will be conducted so that we could see the efficiency of it. With the publication of finding of mostly. Then our second part is will be creating an artificial result data. My friend will explain about what is the vision for this.
Thank you, Varina, for your wonderful presentation. This presentation focuses on the vision of creating an artificial ozone layer to protect Earth's atmosphere. It highlights the importance of the ozone layer and the steps that can be taken to mimic its natural function. Varina, first of all, what is an ozone layer? The ozone layer is located in the stratosphere that absorbs harmful ultraviolet radiations from the sun, acting as a protective shield for life on the Earth. Without it, the planet would be exposed to dangerous levels of UV rays, causing severe environment and health issues. The ozone depletion problem. The ozone depletion is primarily caused by the human-made chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons (CFC). As the ozone layer thins, more UV radiation reaches Earth, increasing risks such as skin cancer and damage to ecosystems, including marine life safeguards. The concept of artificial ozone layer. This slide introduces the idea of creating an artificial ozone for the productive role of the natural ozone layer. Proposed methods include use of aerosols, space-based UV sheets, or reflecting particles of harmful UV radiation. The technology defined in spacecraft or high-altitude probes could disperse reflective particles into the atmosphere, or the satellite-driven UV shields could be deployed. Stratospheric aerosols are another potential technology to help block harmful UV radiation and protect the planet. Aerosols and artificial ozone. Aerosols are nothing but small particles that are suspended in the atmosphere, which can be like natural particles like urine or chemical compounds. The artificial ozone. Compounds like hydrogen peroxide could be theoretically used as aerosols because it the UV radiations and it can break down into water and atomic oxygen. This atomic oxygen reacts with the atmospheric oxygen to form ozone. Thank you. Now I hello.
Thank you, Lily, for a wonderful presentation. My opinions were algorithm again about 2 minutes. 2 minutes was introduced by K.R. Sridhar. He is born in 1960 and he is an Indian American engineer, professor, and as well as engineer. He is the founder, chairman, and CEO of 2 minutes. He was a professor of aerospace and mechanical engineering as well as the director of Space Technology Laboratory at the University of Kansas. First, what are the possible energy sources on Mars? The possible energy sources on on Mars are wind energy, solar energy, nuclear energy, geothermal energy. It takes more money to implement it. So we introduce bloom energy. But what is bloom energy? A clean energy company that focuses on providing distributed power solution. Bloom energy works with solid oxide fuel cell technology to generate electricity from natural gas or biogas. How bloom energy works? Bloom energy works with solid oxide fuel cell technology. Converts fuel into electricity through electrochemical process without combustion. High efficiency and lower carbon emission compared to traditional power generation. Sustainability. Low carbon footprints. Use renewable biogas for energy generation. Efficiency and reliability. Continuous on-site power generation. Minimize energy loss from transmission. Thank you. Over to Gagan.
Yes, we are actually doing SDG goals that are given as a overview of the next people. So people will be more healthier to the clean air. The affordable clean energy that is whole process or the way is affordable clean. The infrastructure and the industry innovation will be more better. We are using more space technology towards here. The sustainable company, sustainable cities and communities, the climate action. We are controlling global warming and such many ozone depletion and many problems. And
Yeah, there is no other fabulous one. We are making plenties of good in every minute. How crazy is it? I sure my one has water crazy. Whether it's like a new genius innovations out there.
They say we always show up when it comes to the need of ideas. Now, you should witness our vision for the future of deep space exploration. So, here you go. I hope my screen is visible. So, here comes the topic power and repaired wildlife. So, before I dive into the topic of power and repaired wildlife, I would like to call upon my friend Alice to throw some light on this topic. The stage is yours, my friend.
Myself, Alessandro, I have come here to explain about an idea to create an energy from a tower. I believe in the failure with the tower. Yes, that from the tower only we are going to generate energy. When you feed an energy to a tower, the radio wave which will be produced on the first of all, do you know what is a radio wave? The radio waves can be say microwaves, gamma ray, infrared radiation, and many. These radio, we can come back to our concept. These radio waves come will be reaching our phone's antenna. On that antenna, the energy will be produced. We will consume such energy for our own purpose. Do you know a thing we can able to generate more energy than a geothermal energy, which we are produced in our earth? We have a slight disadvantage in this idea. To implement this idea, it takes must cost. And also we have an advantage that we can be able to reduce many wires which is lying in front of our house. Me and my team have another idea that laser propulsion system. During a rocket launching period, more pollution are given into our surrounding. To reduce this, this laser propulsion idea is a best solution. And also it is going to be more faster than the other normal rocket. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And the members who are watching, sincere apologies since I cannot be presenting this in full screen mode since my PowerPoint has some issues in that. So, nonetheless, let's get forward. So, as the topic suggests, powered and propelled by light. So, power and propelled, these two are different terms actually. So, power in the sense I'm talking about, for example, let's consider a few astronauts are actually sitting inside a drone and traveling through space. So their power requirements in the sense transferring electricity and communication. That's what is termed as power in this presentation and propulsion in the sense I'm actually pushing my rocket forward. So whatever may be the space probe in space, I'm just pushing it forward or just giving it a thrust so that I can be navigating around in space. So power in the sense I'm actually talking about communication and propelled in the sense I'm talking about navigation. So these two can be achieved via space technologies without compromising environmental pollution. I mean, without creating environmental pollution. So before getting to know how it is done, let us just discuss about the disadvantages with the current system. So here I go. So let's see what the PowerPoint has got us to offer. So rocket science associated with space science and technology has been a very crucial aspect in sustainable development. Of course, the space technology has been helping humanity in achieving sustainable development over the past 3 to 4 decades. And they help us in getting to know about the place we live and, and make our life better and more easier to ways. Though it might even possess various such advantages, it has also got serious disadvantage over our environmental elements, and especially air being most crucial one. So these rockets which are carrying satellites and getting them launched into space, they're actually getting communication, they're getting to know what our very own planet Earth, we're getting to know about the universe, we're getting GPS so that we can get to know our base to various different places on Earth. We're also getting to know about the weather forecast, television, radio, we've got various such advantages with rocket science, right? Of course, that's been because of these many advantages, we're actually getting our life more sustained over the past. To be propelling our rocket to space, it needs to be producing a large amount of thrust, and in turn, it's also getting a large amount of exhaust, which in turn pollutes our environment. So, but we also got solution for that. Before getting to know why we're going to be propelling and powering our space probe with light, we first must know why we're going to be doing that. So, before doing that, let's just have a basic introduction about light. So let's see what the PowerPoint presentation has got for us. Light, as we understand in modern physics, is a form of electromagnetic wave that exhibits both particle as well as wave nature. We all know about light because light actually possesses both a particle as well as wave nature. Let me just consider that light only possesses particle nature. Okay, so if it happen to only possess particle nature, it cannot be navigating through space because as we all know, space is only containing particles. And of course, in order to be navigating through space, it needs to be possessing wave nature. But what if we have this theory that light possesses particle nature as well? So light actually carries a massless particle which is actually called as photons. And as far as we know, light creates more pollution than it gets detected. Of course, have you guys ever heard of light creating pollution when I actually just switch on my light? And of course, it sounds crazy, but the truth is it doesn't produce any pollution. And so that's where innovation strikes where we plan to use laser to propel our space probe. Laser is nothing but a type of light, a sort of light where the photon particles are perfectly synchronized and focused at a single point, which makes it even more intense than the usual light that we actually see. Right. So that's about laser. So there are actually two main advantages that we can actually get from laser propulsion. The first advantage is that we can actually travel at immense amount of speed. And we can actually achieve near light speed, about 10% the speed of light. So we can achieve greater speeds, and another advantage is that we can prevent environmental pollution. But there comes another major disadvantage. When I actually talk about high-speed propulsion, we come to another major disadvantage that is establishing communication between the space probe as well as so communication is the basic factor that actually fulfills the very purpose of launching a rocket space. It's just not like it's okay, I launched a rocket space, that's it, my achievement. No, that's not the major achievement that we actually tend to achieve. The major advantage that we tend to achieve is that we need to establish communication and we need to gather the information and the data that has been collected by the rocket in space. So for that we need to establish communication. We'll be talking about communication in the later part in the upcoming slide. So what is laser propulsion? Laser propulsion is a form of beam powered propulsion where the energy source is remote. When I actually talk about remote, I am actually saying that the source that produces this laser light is actually located in space, which is what I have mentioned here to be ground based system, separate from the reaction mass. So when I actually talk about reaction mass, I'm actually talking about the very vehicle or the space probe, which is actually in space. So as the image suggests, the rocket or the space probe is actually in space, and this thing, the source that produces the laser light, has been focused and perfectly synchronized and has been injected at the exact coordinate where the space probe has been located in space. And this is in fact propelling the rocket forward. It is actually giving the rocket forward thrust. So this is one type of laser propulsion. And then the second type of laser propulsion that we come across in the second mix is that the source which produces the laser light is actually located inside of the probe itself. As we know with conventional rocket systems, we have the fuel and oxidizer tank located inside of the rocket itself. Same thing is going to be applied over here. That the propellant or the source that produces laser light is going to be located inside the rocket itself, and then the laser is being injected, and then we get a forward thrust. So I would like to, say the advantage of this external propulsion over this internal propulsion. See, internal propulsion is always limited for us. When we go larger distance in space, after energy is just like, it is exhausted, we can't be further traveling in space. In order to be achieving farther distances in space, we need to be having a remote or external propulsion. So from Earth, we can actually get unlimited energy towards the probe. So that's the main advantage of external propulsion over internal propulsion. And another advantage that we achieve is that we can fulfill SDG goal number 7, which claims to be providing affordable and clean energy. It might actually sound crazy, but laser propulsion costs millions and billions of dollars, which might not be affordable with the current technological advancements that we have right now. But I can assure you that it is, of course, the clean energy. Of course, it's not creating any sort of pollution, right? So, which makes this to be a clean source of energy. So moving on to the next slide, how do they work? So how the laser propulsion system works? So in order to explaining how a laser propulsion system works, I'm going to be comparing this sort of propulsion with the solar sails. So as the PowerPoint presentation suggests, solar sails are a great example of external propulsion. Solar sails are nothing but the solar panels that the satellites in space use, right? So the satellites located in space are orbiting around the Earth, and they use solar panels in order to be getting sun's radiation, and then they convert it into electrical energy, and they use it in order to propel themselves using ionic propulsion. So lasers is a great example of external propulsion. They are essentially large and lightweight mirrors that generate thrust whenever photons coming from the sun bounce off them. So yeah, solar cells are a great source of external propulsion, but what advantage do I actually get in laser panels? So laser panels would work on the same principle, except they would receive photons from a powerful laser array. Okay, so instead, the solar panels actually receive sun's radiations, whereas the laser panels receive radiation from laser. Is that understood? So the main advantage is that because laser beams are highly focused and perfectly synchronized, laser sails could receive an irradiation 100,000 times greater than the sun's and reach astonishing speeds. Can you imagine? The speed at which the satellites are revolving around our Earth are immensely high. Just don't think just because they're using laser panels, solar panels, they are traveling at low speed. They're actually traveling at immensely high speed. But we can use by using laser panels, we can travel 100,000 times greater than that. Just imagine then how much of great speed we'll be traveling. So, as this image suggests, this is the source, the particle accelerator is nothing but the source that produces the laser light. And this is the particle beam which is carrying all of these photon particles in a focus in a well synchronized manner, which in fact produces a great amount of energy because of its high intensity. And this is where my probe is floating in space, and therefore it's getting the photon particles are getting injected, and then the probe is traveling at a high amount of speed in space. So the main disadvantage is that when I talk about high speed travel, near light speed travel, another major problem that we come across is communication, establishing communication with the space probe and Earth. So in order to be talking about that, I have my friend Sanjeev Kumar, and before that, I would like to call upon Naresh to be giving a general outline about this communication system. The stage is yours, Naresh. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, Ranveer. Introducing about Sanjeev's system. Welcome to all. Myself Naresh. Here we have Sanjeev to explain how we can send electricity along frequency. We know that about the wireless charging system, but those wireless charging system does not have enough range for charge any more than 3 to 4 seconds. But Sanjeev's system can easily charge a battery up to 1 kilometer with the power of just 25 milliamps without a problem. So, we are Sanjeev to explain detail about it. Please, Sanjeev.
Thank you, Naresh. So basically, my idea is the power transmission we are able to do. This is practically based on our modern communication system, where a transmitter transmits information by using some amount of power and radiates it through a large distance. And finally, a mobile phone or a laptop receives this signal and processes it for for gaining information, and again transmits those information to that tower to gain to transmit more information such as Wi-Fi or even mobile data. We are having this complete meeting through Wi-Fi. So it is possible due to this variable. Okay, so let's come back to my idea. Power transmission we are doing. So basically what I am going to do is that we can, instead of transferring information through this radio tower, we can actually transfer power. Uh, how can we transfer power? So these informations are binded into the frequencies of the radio waves, 900 millihertz or 800 millihertz. These are binded into the specific wavelength and transmitted to a large distance. So instead of finding this information, we can directly transmit it over a large area, and we can receive this signal through a receiver, and that the receiver will gain this radio wave and convert it into some other from electric power or some other wireless form of energy. So next we are going to see is that how do these systems work. Normally, can you please switch to next slide? So how do these systems work? Basically, there will be a transmitter emitting radio waves around a certain distance by absorbing some amount of power. Let's say 12,000 watts. And this 12,000 watts is directly converted into radio waves, and information is spread into these radio waves, and it is radiated to a large distance. And it is received by a receiver around that radius and converts it back into some amount of electric power. So how can we generate these radio waves? We can generate these radio waves by simply passing some amount of current through any metal or semiconductor. So when current is passed through a metal or any other semiconductor, there will be an electromagnetic field created around it. And this field can always create some amount of light radiating from that metal. And this light can be composed of visible light rays, IR radiation, or infrared radiation, microwave, or even radio waves. And the cool thing about this is we can actually manipulate this amount of light coming out of it. We can actually manipulate it to give only radio waves. This is a great thing. So now that we manipulated that metal to give only radio waves, what is the use of that? It is just radiating some amount of power over a large distance. There is no use for that. So we have to build a receiver. And by building to build a receiver also, we can use like some metals and semiconductors. And these metals and semiconductors absorb these radio waves and convert it into electrical power. So how do these metals absorb these radio waves and just convert it into electric power? So when radio waves hit any metal, there will be some excitation of atoms. And this excitation of atoms creates unstability. To again come back to its stability, there will be the atoms will release some amount of energy in the form of electrical power. So then again the cycle repeats itself. So what can we do with this system? On Earth, there will be it is a very inefficient system because there will be many amount of obstacles in the way of radio waves which will absorb this and make our system very inefficient. But in space, there is no particle to absorb this radio waves. So what we can do is that we can put a stationary orbit of satellite around the sun, absorb the sun's solar energy, convert it into radio waves, and beam it towards another satellite that is very far away from the sun, that it makes it inefficient to gather solar energy from that distance. And since we are sending this through radio waves, the radio waves will reach the satellite, and again it will be converted into electrical power and used for propulsion and other onboard system communication. So this is a very intelligent and it is a very efficient system around space through which we can actually power different devices from different places in just by one transmitter. So thank you.
Thank you for that, and I'll just stop on screen share.
Wow, these people have surely got rockets in their pockets.
Well, then I guess it explains it all.
Yes, solution. That's what we got. That too without compromising scientific exploration.
Yes, curiosity is good to keep generating, but they're not at the state of compromising environment.
Yes, you said it right.
Well, I hope this explains the future solution. So let's just spread this awareness to the world, and I hope the current spectators in this Envirothon event must have sure enjoyed it.
I hope our talk made us everyone to enjoy and gain some ideas like space technology to spiritual environment. These ideas based on the Panchabuddhas in our mother tongue, it means world's oldest language is Tamil, and that is our mother tongue. We call it as Panchabuddhakal, and we worship as the god of nature. Neer, water, nilam, land, காற்று, air, ஆகாயம், atmosphere, நெருப்பு, fire. Our explorers' idea satisfies SG goals 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Almost we are satisfying 7 SDG goals. And thank you to IGN to make us and our idea to
இந்த செஷனை முடிச்சுட்டேன். Hello. It's a wonderful
session. The art session has been ended.
Yeah, Brahmadev and team, it's wonderful. I think you have done a very good practice. It's just 3 days and you have done a wonderful job. And Priyanka, you have done today very well. Okay, all the best, team. We will go to the next session and keep watching the sessions. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks for ending.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Animala ma'am, I hand over the session to you for this FM radio session, ma'am. Unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Digimon, please wait. Okay, have it unmuted. Thank you, Radha ma'am, for handing over the session to me. So happy and nice to see young kids exploring space technology. So now let us go on to the water session's remaining part, that is the pump radio session. So people of our older generation are much familiar with the radio technology. So we used to entertain ourselves with the radio. Today's kids are born in digital era and they are blessed to watch everything in digital form, in video form like that. But we, the older generation, were addicted to radio. And now the RSU FM belonging to RSU Engineering College, Kumbakonam, is going to give a wonderful talk regarding water conservation. Sentamil விளையாட போகுது இப்போ. So let us listen to RSU. Over to Rijwana ma'am, please introduce me. Thank you,
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. மழை துளி, அது நம் உயிர் துளி. வான் தரும் மழை, அதை வீணாக்குவது நம் பிழை. வரும் தலைமுறைக்கு நமது பரிசு நீர். நீரின் சிறப்புகளையும் நீரின்றி அமையாத உலகு என்பதை நமக்கும் நமது இளைய தலைமுறைக்கும் இலக்கமாக எடுத்துரைக்க அழைக்கிறோம். ஸ்ரீ நாராயணி அவார்டி and Environmental Protection and Management Award by Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, Dr. R. Vijayaraghavan, Professor, Department of Physics, with 2 other members, Mrs. M. Niveta and P. Monisha, under the banner of the Community Radio RSU FM 90.4 MHz from RSU Engineering College, Kumbakonam. Sir, please, session is here, sir.
Good evening to everyone. A special thanks to Anna University Professor Mahimala and Dr. Rijwana Bainam for giving us the best opportunity in the world record. Today our theme conversation is on the topic water resources and water management in our regional language, Tamil. Thank you. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். அண்ணா பல்கலைக்கழகம் மற்றும் அரசு சமூக வானொலி பண்பலை 90.4 இணைந்து இந்நிகழ்ச்சியில் பங்கேற்பதில் மகிழ்ச்சி கொள்கிறோம். பஞ்சபூத சக்திகளில் ஒன்றான நீர். எங்களுடைய தலைப்பு நீரின்றி அமையாதுள்ளது. நீர் உலக இயக்கத்தின் ஜீவனாடி. நீர் இல்லையே அதனால்தான் நீரின்றி அமையாத உலகு என்று வள்ளுவர் மிக அழகாக நம்மிடம் சொல்லியிருக்கிறார். ஆனால் இன்றைய காலகட்டத்தில் தண்ணீர் பற்றிய தகவல்கள் எதிர்காலத்தை பற்றிய அச்சத்தையும் அவநம்பிக்கையும் ஏற்படுத்துவதாகவே உள்ளது. உலக சுகாதார அமைப்பின் புள்ளி விவரப்படி பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா உலகத்துல பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா 18% பேருக்கு பாதுகாப்பான குடிநீர் இன்னைக்கு கிடைக்கல. வளரும் நாடுகள்ல பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா 80% உடல் உபாதைகளும் மரணங்களும் தண்ணீர் தொடர்பான நோய்களால் நிகழ்கின்றது அப்படிங்கிற புள்ளி விவரம் நமக்கு கிடைச்சிருக்கு. சுமார் 2026 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு பிறகு பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா உலக மக்கள் தொகையில 3 பேருக்கு 2 சுத்தமான குடிநீர் கிடைக்காது அப்படிங்கிற அந்த ஆய்வறிக்கையை நமக்கு கிடைச்சிருக்கு. இந்தியாவில் விவசாயம் செய்யப்படும் பகுதிகளில் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா 60% நிலங்களும் நீர்ப்பாசன வசதி இல்லாம இந்திய விவசாயம் தொடர்ந்து செய்வது மிகவும் கேள்விக்குறியாகவும் மழையை நம்பிதான் இருக்காங்க. எதிர்காலத்துல 60 நாடுகளில் உள்ள மக்கள்ல பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா 700 கோடி மக்கள் தண்ணீர் பற்றாக்குறையால் பாதிக்கப்படும் அபாயம் உள்ளது. தமிழகத்துல 32 மாவட்டங்கள்ல கடந்த 4 ஆண்டு சராசரியா 62,000க்கும் மேற்பட்ட தண்ணீரால் பரவும் நோய்களால் பாதிக்கப்பட்டுள்ளனர். ஆசிய வளர்ச்சி வங்கி கணிப்பின்படி இனி வரும் காலங்களில் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா ஒவ்வொரு தனி மனிதனுக்கும் தன்னுடைய வருமானத்தில் 10% தண்ணீருக்காக செலவிடுவதில் ஏற்படக்கூடும். தண்ணீர் பற்றாக்குறைக்கு வறட்சி போன்ற இயற்கை காரணங்களை மட்டும் நம்ம பெருசா சொல்லிட முடியாது. நிலத்தடி நீர் அதிக அளவு உறிஞ்சப்படுகிறது. முறையற்ற நீர் வளங்கள் நிர்வாகம், குடிநீர் பிரச்சனையால் தொடர்பான விதிகள், நீர்நிலை பராமரிப்பின் அலட்சியம் போன்றவையெல்லாம் முக்கிய காரணம் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லலாம். இந்தியாவில் கிடைக்கும் தண்ணீர் அளவு முன்னாடி எப்படி கிடைச்சதோ அதே அளவு இப்ப கிடைச்சாலும் கூட மக்கள் தொகை அளவும் பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சியும் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா அதிகரிச்சிருக்கு. ஸோ அதற்கேற்பாது போல தண்ணீர் தேவையும் நமக்கு அதிகரிச்சிருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். நாட்டின் பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சி என்பது பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா தண்ணீர் பயன்பாட்டை சார்ந்துதான் இருக்கே தவிர தனியா ஒரு மனிதனை சார்ந்து இல்லை. நாட்டின் ஒரு பல பகுதிகளில் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா அதிகமான நிலத்தடி நீர் வைக்கப்படுவதால நீர்மட்டம் குறைச்சிக்கிட்டே இருக்கு. நீர்மட்டம் குறையறதுனால பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா உப்புத்தன்மை அதிகம் கொண்டதாக மாறுகிற ஒரு பாதிப்பு ஏற்படுகிறது. இத்தகைய நீரை போய் நம்ம வேளாண்மைக்கு பயன்படுத்துறது அப்படிங்கிறது முடியாது. பொதுவாகவே பஞ்சபூதங்களில் ஒன்றான நீர் எல்லா பஞ்சபூதத்தோட தொடர்போடு இணைஞ்சிருக்கு அப்படின்னே சொல்லலாம். மேகங்கள் கருத்திரண்டு மோதி மழைநீராக வானத்திலிருந்து வெடிக்கிறது. அந்த மழைநீர் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா வாரி அணைத்துக் கொள்வது மண் தான். காற்று வீசும் போது ஏற்ற இறக்கமே பருவமழையா உருவாகும். சூரிய நெருப்பே நீர்நிலைகளை ஆவியா ஆக்கி மேகமா மெருகேற்ற காரணமாயிருக்கு. இப்படி அனைத்தையும் இணைக்கும் இலையாக மழைநீர் நிலவுகிறது. அவைய பஞ்சபூதங்கள் அனைத்தும் தொடர்புடையது நீர் தான் அப்படிங்கிறதே இந்த இடத்துல பதிவு செய்யலாம். காற்று, வானம், மண், நீர் தொடர்புடையதால இவை எது மாசடைந்தாலும் நீர் பாதிக்கப்படுகிறது. நீர் பாதித்தால் சுற்றுப்புற சூழல் பாதிப்பு முக்கியமாக அதிகமாகிறது அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம மாற்றி சொல்ல முடியாது. இப்படி சுற்றுப்புற சூழல் பாதிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சது அப்படின்னா காலநிலை பாதிப்பு அப்படிங்கிறதும் நம்ம மறுக்கவே முடியாது. நீர் என்பது சுற்றுப்புற சூழல் பாதுகாப்பில் முக்கிய பங்கு வகிக்கிறது அப்படிங்கிறதையும் தெரிவிச்சுக்கிறோம். மனித வளம் மேன்மை அடையும், மக்கள் வளம் மனித நலம் காக்கப்படவும் தூய்மையான நீர் கிடைக்க வழி செய்வது இன்றைய சூழலில் மிக மிக முக்கியமானது. உலகில் உயிரினங்கள் தோன்ற முக்கியமான காரணம் நீர் அப்படிங்கிறது சொல்றாங்க. கடல்வாழ் உயிரினங்கள் நமது பூமியில் முதல் தோன்றியது அப்படிங்கிறது உயிர் அறிவியலாளர்களும் நமக்கு பதிவு பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. மனிதன் முதலில் சேமித்தது நீர் தான். பின்புதான் மழைநீரை சேகரிக்க ஏரிகளையும் குளங்களையும் அமைத்தான். அதன் பிறகு பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா பூமிகள்ல கேணிகளை தொலைவி பயன்படுத்த ஆரம்பிச்சான். நீரை சேமிக்க பழகிய பிறகுதான் பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா தானியங்கள், பொருட்கள் இவற்றையெல்லாம் சேமிக்க கற்றுக்கொண்டான். எந்த நாடு தண்ணீரை சிக்கனம் காட்டுகிறதோ, தண்ணீரை அதிகமாக சேமிக்கிறதோ அங்கதான் வளம் அதிகமா இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறது பெரியவர்கள் வாக்கு. அப்ப நீர் வளங்களை பாதுகாக்கிறது இயற்கையை பாதுகாக்க முடியும். அப்ப நீர் வளங்களை பத்தி நம்ம கண்டிப்பா தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். நீர் வளங்களை பத்தி கண்டிப்பா தெரிஞ்சுக்கோம்.
நீர்நிலைகளை பத்தி பேசுறப்போ அந்த காலத்துல ஏரி, ஆறு, கண்மாய், தாங்கல், ஏந்தல், ஊரணி, குளம், குட்டைன்னு ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய அமைப்பே அந்த காலத்துல இருந்துச்சு. இந்த வார்த்தைய நம்மள நிறைய பேர் கேட்டுக்க கூட மாட்டோம். குளம் அப்படின்னா என்ன? இந்த வார்த்தையை கேட்டு பல வருஷங்கள் ஆனது போல இருக்குல்ல. அந்த காலத்துல மழை நீரை தேக்கி வச்சிருந்ததுதான் குளம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஆனா இன்னைக்கு குளம், ஏரி, வாய்க்கால், குட்டை இது எல்லாமே ஏதோ ஒரு சில இடங்கள்ல தான் பார்க்கவே முடியுது. நீர்நிலைகள் தொடர்பா ஒரு சுவாரஸ்யமான விஷயம் சொல்லணும்னா அந்த கால தமிழர்கள் நீர்நிலைகளை ஒவ்வொரு நீர்நிலைக்கும் ஒவ்வொரு விதமான யூசேஜ் வச்சிருந்தாங்க. மழை நீரோட சின்ன தேக்கம் தான் குட்டை அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. அந்த தண்ணீரை அந்த காலத்துல குளிக்கவும் பயன்படுத்தியிருக்காங்களா. அதனாலேயே இதுக்கு குளம் அப்படின்னு இன்னொரு பேரும் இருக்கு. விவசாயத்துக்கு பயன்படக்கூடிய இடத்த ஏரி, வாய்க்கால், கண்மாய் அப்படின்னும், சமைக்கவும் குடிக்கவும் பயன்படுத்தக்கூடிய இடத்த ஊருணி அப்படின்னு சொல்லி